Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Let's look at a recent story. On April 2nd, 2025, Donald Trump made a big news announcement. He said that the United States would add big taxes called tariffs on many things from other countries. This made people very worried. The stock market went down fast. The Dow Jones, which is a list of big American companies, dropped 4,000 points in 2 days. It was the biggest drop ever in 2 days. People started to lose money. Then something strange happened. On April 9th, Trump said he would stop some of the tariffs. Just a few hours before that, he posted a message online on his website, Truth Social. He told people, "This is a great time to buy." He was talking about the stock market. Also, he and his wife, Melania Trump, started selling special internet coins called memecoins. That same day, at 1 p.m., people started trading a lot more stocks. This was 20 minutes before Trump paused the tariffs. Some people think this trading happened because of secret news. Others say it might be because of a bond auction happening at the same time. But nobody knows for sure. Because of all this, a man named Adam Schiff asked for an investigation. Schiff is a senator. A senator is a person chosen to help make national laws in the United States. He wanted Congress, another part of the U.S. government that makes laws, to check if someone close to Trump used secret information or insider information, meaning information from inside to make money. He said it could be insider trading. There is no proof that Trump himself made money from the stock trades, but the timing of everything made people ask questions. Did someone know the news before everyone else? Did they buy or sell stocks to make money? Now let's look at another example. On September 19, 2008, a man named Spencer Bachus made a special kind of money trade. Mr. Bachus was a congressman, a person who helps make laws for the country. His trade was a bet that the stock market would go down. If the market dropped, he would make money. It was a very smart bet. In the next few days, the stock market did go down a lot. Mr. Bachus quickly sold his investment. He made almost 2 times the money he started with. It was a great trade for him. The timing was perfect. It seemed like he knew what was going to happen. How did he know? The day before he made the trade, Mr. Bachus was in a secret meeting. Important people from the government were there. These people managed the country's money and economy. Everyone had to leave their phones outside the room because the meeting was very private. In the meeting, Mr. Bachus heard very bad news. The leaders told him the world's money system was going to have a big problem very soon, maybe in just a few days. They talked about a possible financial meltdown. So, Mr. Bachus learned that the economy was in serious trouble before most people knew. This information likely helped him make his successful trade. But here is a surprising thing. What Mr. Bachus did was not against the rules at that time. It was legal for him to make that trade, even with the secret information he learned. People in government like Mr. Bachus have to report when they buy and sell stocks. These reports are called financial disclosures. This information is open for everyone to see. We can look at these reports. We can see which lawmakers buy and sell stocks and when they do it. Sometimes their trades look very well timed, just like Mr. Bachus's trade. This makes people wonder if they are using special information from their government jobs to make money. We have used these public reports to make a list. This list shows lawmakers who seem to be very good at investing. Are they just lucky or smart investors? Or does their special knowledge about the economy, learned through their work, help them make better choices in the stock market? We will look at this question. 2. Rules for some. Many countries have free markets. People can usually buy and sell shares in companies called stocks. But there are important rules for people with special, private information about a company or the economy. This is insider information. Laws stop people using secret information to buy or sell stocks. These are insider trading laws. Who is an insider? An insider could be a company boss or someone owning a large part, like 10%. It can also be someone getting secret information through connections. For example, imagine a company's CEO knows the company earned less money than expected. The law says the CEO cannot sell many shares right before telling the public this bad news. Selling before the news makes the share price drop is usually insider trading. These rules help make the market fair. If only insiders won using secret information, others might not trust the market. Everyone should follow the same rules. The rules are clear for business people, but for a long time, did these rules apply to lawmakers in Congress? For many years, the answer was not clear. Lawmakers did not seem to have the same strict rules about trading stocks as company bosses. Lawmakers learn private information through their jobs. They are in groups called committees. They talk to business leaders. They learn about the economy early. They often know things that could affect stock prices before the public does. This information is private. Did lawmakers use this information to make money? Studies looked at stock trades made by senators in the 1990s. They found something interesting. Over 4 years, senators' stocks did very well. Their investments earned about 12% more than the market each year on average. This was much better than most investors, even some experts. How did lawmakers invest so well? Were they just lucky or smart? Or did they use special knowledge? The studies suggested senators might know good times to buy or sell shares because of private information from their jobs. Most people guess about the stock market, but lawmakers might have had clues about what could happen next. If regular people use secret information for trades, they can face serious problems. But for lawmakers, things seemed different for a long time. It looked like one set of rules for most people and different rules for some powerful people in government. 3. A new law. The year 2008 was very difficult for many people. Banks had big problems and the stock market went down quickly. This time is known as the financial crisis. Many ordinary Americans lost their savings, their jobs, and even their homes. It was a time of great worry about money and the future. During this difficult period, some lawmakers in the government made news. They were buying and selling stocks. Surprisingly, many of these trades were very successful. They made money even when the economy was doing badly. This seemed strange. How did they know the right time to buy or sell? Some people started to ask questions. Did these lawmakers have special information that others did not? An investigation looked into this. It found that before the big market problems in 2008, many lawmakers changed their investments. At least 34 lawmakers made changes. They did this very soon after they had secret meetings with important government officials. In these meetings, they learned private information about the economy. They learned how bad the problems might become. When asked about these trades, some lawmakers did not want to talk about them. Many people in the public felt this was very unfair. They saw lawmakers possibly using secret knowledge to make money. At the same time, regular people were suffering because of the financial crisis. People became angry. They believed the rules were different for powerful people in government. They wanted something to change. The pressure on the government grew. Because of this public pressure, Congress acted. In the year 2012, they passed a new law. This law had a special name, the Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act. People called it the Stock Act. The purpose of this law was clear. It aimed to stop lawmakers from using secret information they learned from their government jobs to make money in the stock market. The law said this kind of trading was wrong. The Stock Act also had another important rule. It required lawmakers to tell the public about the stocks they bought or sold. They had to report their trades. This way, everyone could see what they were doing with their money. The idea was to make things more open and fair. It seemed like a good step. Many hoped this new law would fix the problem. However, the story did not end there. The Stock Act did not solve everything. 4 big problems start. The Stock Act became law in 2012. The idea was to stop lawmakers from using secret information to buy and sell stocks. It also said they must tell the public about their trades. But did this law solve the problem? Not really. Some lawmakers continued to make trades that looked strange. These trades happened after they got special information from their jobs. Here is one important example. It involves Senator Richard Burr. He was a Republican from North Carolina. In early 2020, Senator Burr had an important job. He was the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee. This committee gets secret information about dangers to the country. On January 24, 2020, Senator Burr and other senators went to a private meeting. In this meeting, they learned secret information about the new coronavirus COVID-19. They were told it was going to be very bad. This was before most people knew how serious the virus was. A few days after the meeting, Senator Burr sold many stocks. Later in February, he sold even more. In total, he sold stocks worth more than $1 million. He moved his money into investments that are usually safe when the economy is bad. This happened just before the stock market fell very quickly because of the virus. What Senator Burr said in public was different from what he did. He wrote an article for Fox News. He said the United States was ready to fight the virus. But in a private meeting with a small group, he gave a different message. Someone recorded him. He said the virus spread very easily. He said it was like the terrible pandemic in 1918. There was more information. Reports said Senator Burr called his brother-in-law. The phone call was very short, less than 1 minute. Right after the call, his brother-in-law called his own stockbroker. He sold stocks worth between $97,000 and $280,000. Government groups investigated Senator Burr. They looked at his stock sales, but in the end, they dropped the case. They did not charge him with breaking the law. It is often very difficult to prove that a lawmaker used secret information for trading stocks. Senator Burr might say he just made smart choices based on public news. It is interesting that Senator Burr was one of only 3 senators who voted against the Stock Act back in 2012. 5. Family and money. Some lawmakers' families are also involved in trading stocks. Let's look at Congressman Ro Khanna from California. His financial reports are very long and difficult to read. These reports show that since 2019, his family made at least 10,500 trades. These trades involved almost 900 different companies. Most of these trades were not made by the congressman himself. They were made through a special account called a trust for his wife and children. Congressman Khanna said that it is his wife's money and he does not trade stocks, but people looked at the companies his family bought and sold. They found that 149 of these companies were connected to his work in Congress. For example, he is part of a group called the House Oversight Committee. This group studied the high prices of medicine from companies like AbbVie. At the same time, his wife was buying and selling AbbVie stock. The New York Times found other examples. His family traded stocks in companies that made weapons, like Lockheed Martin. They also traded in big medicine companies like Johnson & Johnson. Congressman Khanna was investigating these companies as part of his job. It was his wife and children's trust doing the trading, not him. But it looks like a problem because his job and his family's money seem connected. It is not clear if this is okay. Another example is Nancy Pelosi. She was the Speaker of the House for many years. This is a very important job in the government. Her husband is a successful investor. Reports show that the Pelosi family's money grew a lot during difficult times. After the 2008 financial problems, their money went from about $31 million to over $100 million. That is an increase of 220%. During the pandemic, their money went from about $106 million to $171 million. That is an increase of 60%. Her husband made some trades that seemed very well timed. For example, he sold $3 million of Google stock just weeks before the government said it was suing Google. He also bought millions of dollars of Tesla stock when laws were being made that helped electric car companies like Tesla. He sold stock in a company called Nvidia just days before the government stopped companies like Nvidia from selling computer parts to China and Russia. Nancy Pelosi said that America has a free market. She believes people should be able to buy and sell stocks. There is no proof that they broke any rules, but her husband is an investor and she had a powerful job with access to important information. Some people think this is a problem. Her husband's trades became so famous that some people started copying them online. 6. More examples. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene also made interesting stock trades. On February 22, 2022, she bought shares in Lockheed Martin, a company that makes weapons, and Chevron, a big oil company. The next day, she wrote on social media that war can make people a lot of money. One day later, Russia started its war in Ukraine. Her investments in the weapons and oil companies went up in value. We do not know if she knew something special or if it was just good timing. Her actions were legal. Another example is former Senator Kelly Loeffler. She went to the same private meeting about COVID-19 as Senator Burr. This meeting gave secret information about how bad the virus could become. Just hours after the meeting, she and her husband started selling stocks. They sold between $50,000 and $100,000 worth. In the next few weeks, before the stock market fell sharply, they sold many more stocks. The total value was between $1.2 million and $3.1 million. This timing helped them avoid big losses when the market crashed. It seemed like she had information that most people did not have. Officials looked into her trades, but the investigation ended with no action taken. Senator Dianne Feinstein was also at that important COVID-19 meeting in January 2020. Soon after learning the private information, large amounts of stock were sold from her accounts. The value was between $1.5 million and $6 million. When asked, Senator Feinstein stated her husband handled all their investments independently. She said she did not tell him anything from the meeting. The FBI looked into this case too, but they closed the investigation without finding any wrongdoing. It is difficult to prove if private information was shared between spouses. Former Senator David Perdue made a very large number of stock trades while he was in office. He traded stocks 2,596 times during one 6-year term. Many of these trades involved companies that were connected to his work on Senate committees. For example, he bought and sold shares in a cybersecurity company called FireEye. This happened while he was part of a group working on cybersecurity laws. FireEye had a big contract with the government and was based in his home state. He reported making up to $15,000 from his FireEye investment. He also traded stocks in big banks like J.P. Morgan Chase and Bank of America. At the same time, he was on the Senate Banking Committee, which makes rules for these banks. This looks like a conflict of interest. This means he could personally benefit from decisions made by his committee. 7. Why the law fails. In 2012, a new law was created called the Stock Act. Its goal was simple: stop lawmakers in Congress from using secret information to buy and sell stocks for profit. The law stated they could not use special knowledge from their government jobs to make money in the stock market. It also required them to publicly report all the stocks they buy and sell. This was intended to make the system fair. But did this law solve the problem? It seems it did not fully work. Even with the Stock Act, some lawmakers continue to make stock trades that look suspicious. They often buy or sell stocks just before important events happen, events that can make stock prices change suddenly. This makes many people wonder if these lawmakers are still using private information that ordinary people do not have. So why does this law often fail? There are several important reasons. First, the Stock Act itself is not very strong. It is extremely difficult to prove that a lawmaker committed illegal insider trading. A lawmaker can claim they made a trade using public information, not secret information from their job. Proving they used specific, non-public knowledge from Congress is very hard for investigators. Second, the punishment for breaking the Stock Act rules is usually very small. If a lawmaker fails to report their trades correctly or on time, the fine might only be about $200. For wealthy people trading large amounts, this small penalty is not enough to make them follow the rules. It does not really stop bad behavior. Records show there have been at least 78 examples where members of Congress apparently broke the reporting rules, but almost none faced serious consequences. This shows the law is not enforced strictly. Many lawmakers understand this situation is a problem. They know it looks bad when they or their families profit from stock trades while having access to sensitive government information. Some lawmakers have talked about needing stronger rules. They suggest solutions, like banning members of Congress from trading individual stocks while in office. Another suggestion is requiring lawmakers to use a blind trust. This means someone else manages their money and makes trades without the lawmaker knowing the details. However, Congress has not passed these stronger reforms. Making new rules is complicated because Congress must regulate itself. This self-regulation makes it hard to pass strict rules affecting their own finances. Also, political tactics are sometimes used to delay or block new bills about stock trading for lawmakers. So even though many agree the current law has weaknesses, fixing it has proven very difficult. The questions about fairness continue. 8. Losing trust. The rules about lawmakers trading stocks are not very strong. We saw that the Stock Act did not stop the problems. But the main issue is bigger than just weak rules or finding proof of illegal trading. The biggest problem is that people lose trust in their leaders and in the government itself. Trust is very important for a democracy to work well. When citizens trust their elected officials, they believe the officials are working for the good of the country. But when people see news about lawmakers making large amounts of money from stocks, especially around important events or secret meetings, that trust can break. It does not always matter if the trades were technically legal. The appearance of using a powerful job for personal financial gain is very damaging. It can make people feel that the system is unfair. They might think that politicians have special information that helps them get rich, while regular people do not have the same chances. This feeling creates distance between the people and their government. Sometimes, politicians seem to focus more on blaming each other than on fixing the problem. For example, one suggested law about stock trading was given a name that was clearly meant to criticize another politician, Nancy Pelosi. Using names like the Pelosi Act can make it look like politicians are more interested in political fights than in finding real solutions that everyone can agree on. This kind of action does not help build trust. How things look to the public is very important. Even perfectly legal trades can look bad if it seems like a lawmaker knew something secret before making the trade. These appearances or optics matter a lot. When people see things that look unfair or dishonest, their trust goes down. And when trust in politicians and government institutions gets weaker, the whole system of democracy suffers. It needs trust to function properly. Should lawmakers, or even their close family members, be completely banned from trading individual stocks while in office?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second. and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.